Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the beginner's guide on how to start cooking. So if you're watching this guide, you're probably interested in cooking like myself, but you don't know how to start. And it's actually very simple, and you can start cooking at the very beginning of the game. So I'm currently situated in Velia. You're going to be in Velia if you just started the game. It's one of the main towns that you go to very early into the game. And I'm currently standing at the stable keeper. So you can see the stable keeper's right there. So once you locate him, you'll know where to go. All right. So the first step that you want to do in order to start cooking is you actually need a residence. So we're going to press M to open up the map. We're going to click on Velia. Once you click on Velia, you're going to notice over here that there's a bunch of houses. These houses are going to be different colors. There's some going to be blue, some are going to be white, and some are going to be gray. The blue ones mean you can buy them. When you click on them, you're able to purchase them. I do not have enough contribution points, so I cannot purchase it. However, if you're starting out in the game, you will have contribution points. So the house that I recommend is Velia 3-1. You're going to click on that, you're going to click on residence, and you're going to click on buy. Once you buy it, it's going to take a minute, I think, in order to complete, and it will become your house, okay? So once you have purchased Velia 3-1, there are two things you need to pick up. One is going to be a container, and the second one is going to be a cooking utensil. So these two items are pretty essential in cooking. So where do we pick up these two items? First of all, let's pick up a cooking utensil. So a cooking utensil is quite simple. From the stable master, you're just going to run forward up here to where the chief is over here, and you're going to notice that there's a door at the side. You're going to run through this door, and this door actually opens. Ta-da! And there's going to be a chef right here. You're going to talk to David over here, and you're going to go to shop. So over here, you're going to notice that you can buy cooking utensils for 1,000 silver, or you can buy the traditional cooking utensil for 50,000 silver. Ignore this one. You don't need this one, especially if you're just starting out. The main difference between the two is this one has a lot more durability. This one has 500 durability versus this one's 100 durability. So durability is basically every time you use your cooking utensil to make a dish, it will lower its utility. So this will be able to cook 100 dishes or so, and this will be able to cook 500 dishes or so. However, for the sake of this video, and since we are just starting out cooking, we're just going to buy the regular cooking utensil, okay? So over here, you see that I have already bought a regular one. Since we're here anyway, we're also going to buy certain materials in order to make our first dish, which is beer. And I'll explain later in the video why we make beer. So in order to make beer, we're going to need sugar. So you're going to click on sugar, you're going to click on buy multiple, and we're going to buy 1,000 sugar. You don't need to buy 1,000 sugar. You can buy 500, buy 100, really up to you, but I like to buy in increments of 1,000 for these cheaper things because I don't like coming to the chef that often. So boom, 1,000 sugar. Next is leaving agent. Again, buy multiple. We're going to buy 1,000 of this as well. Or yeah, 1,000, not 10,000. Boom. Yes. And then we're also going to buy down here mineral water. Again, mineral water, I'm going to buy 1,000. Boom, 1,000. Bam. So boom, we currently bought the cooking utensil. We bought 1,000 mineral water, 1,000 leaving agent, and 1,000 sugar. So once we've done that, we can leave the kitchen. We can leave that. We'll go up here. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a container. So where do we get a container? We're going to run down here. If you want to just autopath, just press M, open up your map over here. At the very bottom, there's find NPC. Click on it and simply click storage, okay? And it'll set a waypoint, and you just press T and you'll start auto running towards the waypoint. Well, jogging. You need to press shift in order to start running towards it. So once you get here, you're going to tap on this guy and you're going to click on chat. And right here, it'll be rent container. Just click rent container. It will cost contribution points again, and just say confirm. Boom. Okay, so now you have a container. So now that we've collected all these materials, the next thing we need to do is go to our house. So how do we get to our house? We're going to press M again. We're going to click on Velia, open this up, and remember we bought Velia 3-1. So we're going to right click on it, and boom, you set a waypoint, and again, you press T to auto run to it. Again, it's just running, and you'll notice the waypoint brings you to this house right here. On the top, you can see it says Velia 3-1 residence. So you're going to press R to open the door, and boom. Here is your house. You'll notice your house is very empty and there's nothing in it. So how do we decorate it? We're going to press Control to activate your mouse and go to place mode. Once you're in place mode, you're going to notice over here, these are the items that you bought before and you have access to them. You're going to notice that there's a lot of other items over here as well, but they have the little P symbol on the top left, which means these are premium items and will cost pearls. So, you know, we're poor, so we're not doing that. So first of all, put the container down. I like to put my container right here. you can put it wherever you want. You're going to click it once and press spacebar and boom, it'll be set. Then the cooking utensil. Again, you could drag it around wherever you want. So I want to place mine around here. So I'm going to click that. And again, I'm going to press spacebar or just click confirm to put it down. Let's say you misplaced it. You can just click on it. And again, you can click move and you'll be able to move it around again. Okay. And if the angle doesn't seem right to you, you can click rotate camera, and voila. You see, now you can place it right up against the wall because you've rotated the camera. There we go. Boom. Okay. And then I have some other cooking utensils because I bought a whole bunch of them. You don't have to be like me. You can buy like just one if you want, but I'm crazy and I bought like a bazillion. So I'm going to be placing all of them down now. Let's say I want to put this here. Well, I placed it there, but it's backwards. So again, I can rotate, and voila. And I confirm the rotation and boom, I placed the cooking utensil. And I've got one more. So for those who think I'm crazy and I'm putting so many, it's, you know, it's just for convenience sake for me. So after you confirm the rotation or the angle, you have to click confirm in order to confirm the angle. Like, oh, I want it to face that way. Then you can place it down one more time like that. Ta-da! So once that's done, boom, you see all of my stuff is over here. I've got all my cooking utensils. So the reason why we put a little container over here is because it's your external storage. I'm able to put all my stuff here. So you know, all this mineral water and stuff that we bought, this stuff is pretty heavy. You can see that I'm like 33% on weight. So I can put all of this back in here. You know, I can put away my water, my leaving agent, all that stuff into my external storage over here so that I am not overweight. So that is the reason why I buy this container right here. And it's also convenient for me to take out materials if I want to start cooking dishes. So now that we've got everything set up, what we want to do is we want to use our cooking utensil. Just press R on the cooking utensil and you can see there's a whole bunch of dishes over here that we can make, right? However, the first dish that we want to make is beer, as I said before. So we scroll a little bit down and right here, you're going to see beer. And you're going to see that when you hover over it, as well as the description under here, it tells you the cooking ingredients. So you can see here that we need 5 wheat, 6 mineral water, 2 leaving agent, and 1 sugar in order to make beer. So we already have the mineral water, the leaving agent, and the sugar. We bought all of these in the kitchen already. So all that's left is 5 wheat. So wheat is a type of crop, and there are many different crops that categorize as wheat. So the example I'm going to be using here is going to be corn and potatoes. And in order to get this, you can simply buy it on the market, or you can farm it yourself, or you can get workers to get it for you. But for the sake of keeping this video short, we're just going to buy it off the market. So you can see over here that I already have some corn and some potatoes. So I'm going to take my corn out. I'm going to take my potatoes out as well. So I'm going to put my corn here, my potatoes here. And then as we remembered before, we got leaving agent that we needed sugar, and we needed mineral water. Okay. So now that we've taken out all those materials, let's organize it a little bit. Let's put them here. Boom, 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 boom. And let's make some beer. So you're going to come up to your cooking station, press R, and you're going to scroll down until you find beer. You're going to click on beer. So if you've made beer before, it will pop up here with recently successful cooking, which you can just click select and it will automatically fill it up, which is very, very convenient. However, in our case, we don't have that. So we're going to cancel all that and we're going to have to look at the recipe. So over here, it says we need to put 5 wheat. So you can either put 5 potatoes or 5 corn. So let's put 5 potatoes here. Boom. Next thing, we need to put 6 mineral water. We're going to put 6 mineral water. And then next up, 2 leaving agents. So 2 leaving agents and 1 sugar. So we're going to put 1 sugar. So this is the recipe to make beer. So we can do start cooking if you just want to make 1 beer, or if you want to make multiple beer, you can click batch productions. It's going to say this warning and you say yes. And you can see over here that I can make a total of 11 beers with all the materials I have at the moment. My main bottleneck being the potatoes, as I only have 57 potatoes. It consumes 5 potatoes per beer. So naturally I can only make 11 beers. But in this case, we're just going to make 1. So you just click start cooking and voila, your character automatically starts cooking. There's a little countdown timer down here. It will take 10 seconds to make 1 beer. And if you click multiple, then it'll take 10 seconds to make each one. So if you made 11 beers, 10 seconds each, it would take 110 seconds in order to make your 11 beers. So voila, I've made my beer. So I got lucky because my cooking skill is pretty high. You can see my cooking is professional 1, which is why I got lucky and I made 4 beers instead of just making 1 because it procced. So that was very, very fortunate for me. But for you, when you're first starting out, you're only going to get 1 beer, okay? So now that I've shown you how to make beer with potatoes, you can do the same thing but with corn. So again, you use your cooking utensil. This time you can tick learned only and it'll show you all the dishes you've made before. So in your case, it's just gonna have beer. You can click on beer and again, this thing will pop up. Click select and that will use your previous recipe. So your previous recipe was with potatoes, but let's say we don't want to use potatoes and we want to use corn. It's quite simple. We're going to drag this to the side. You simply right click on the potatoes to take that out and you can put in corn. So you put in 5 corn instead of 5 potatoes. And again, you can do start cooking or batch production, depending on how much you want to make. And boom, you see, now we have beer again. Now we have 6 beer. So this is how you make beer, relatively simple. So why did I recommend people to make beer at the very beginning? And that is simply because we need beer to feed our workers. So you're going to see here when I click control and I go to my workers tab over here that I have a bunch of workers over here that are working and they have a stamina bar. You can see this yellow bar underneath them. This is their stamina bar and it's decreasing. It'll decrease over time and I need to feed them. So when I click on recover all, you can see that I can feed them with beer. It'll recover their stamina. I click confirm. Boom, you see everyone's stamina went up a little bit and I click repeat all to make them start farming whatever I needed them to farm. So in this case, I've got a goblin worker getting potatoes, this guy's getting poultry for me, and this guy's getting corn for me. So I've got a bunch of workers working for me so that I don't need to go out and collect corn. I don't need to go out and spend money to buy corn and potatoes and stuff like that. And I can just chill at home and all the items that my workers collect will magically appear in my storage, which is very, very nice. My corn and potatoes will just magically start increasing in number as my workers collect all of these materials for me. So for the sake of keeping this video short, I will be explaining how to hire workers and how to get your workers to work for you in tomorrow's video. Today's video was really just teaching you how to get cooking and how to get started. For those who are a little bit more adventurous, again, you can use your cooking utensil and there are a bunch of different dishes that you can make over here. So you simply just look at the ingredients. So this needs 1 wheat, 1 apple, 1 leaving agent, and 1 sugar. Then you can just Google or you can just explore the world and see where you find apples and then you could make vinegar. And there's a whole bunch of dishes over here which you can make and not all of them can be collected by workers. A good example is oatmeal over here. So oatmeal requires 9 wheat flour, 3 milk, 2 cooking honey, as well as 3 onions. So in this case, onions cannot be collected by your workers. You actually have to physically farm for these onions, or you can buy it off the market, of course. But in my case, I like to make everything self-sustaining, so I had to get out of my way to go buy onion seeds in order to plant the onions in my farm and create that. And if you guys are interested in a farming guide, I can also make that in a future video if you guys would like. But yeah, that's basically it for today's video, just explaining how to get started for cooking. And again, I recommend making beer as your first item, mainly because you're going to need beer to feed the workers, which are gathering all the materials for you so that you can cook even more stuff. So that is basically building the fundamentals for your cooking empire. Okay? Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the rest.